This is also corrosion. This is the copper pipe and seal, because reaction with moisture and carbon dioxide gas. See, so you have seen how it damages the metal. Iron on exposure to moist air for longer period of time forms a coating of brown flaky substance called rust. The corrosion of iron is called rusting. Whenever you might have seen on the fan, you might have seen on the refrigerator, you might have seen on the nails, and you might have also seen on the locks of the door. Rust is available on the iron. Whenever an iron is exposed to air for a longer period of time, it is going to rust. When the layer of rust falls off, it exposes the inner surface of iron objects on which a new layer of rust develops. Thus, it slowly eats away the iron object. It is very bad for the iron object. It is slowly going to damage the iron object. Iron is used widely in making ships, bridges, cars, trucks, bodies, etc. The monetary loss due to rusting of iron is huge. If you are not going to inspect the bridges that are built years before, so what is going to happen? It will collapse in the rainy season. Okay, and people have to suffer. So we have to keep a check on the bridges also, because they are also made of metals called as iron. See students, these are all rusting. What is the condition of the iron? Can you feel that this is iron? No, because it is covered by brown flaky substance called rust, which eats away the iron. See here. Okay. Now you understood rusting. Now we are going to start with reaction with acid. Okay. Metal. Whenever it is reacted with acid with a metal, leads to a production of salt and hydrogen gas. Metal plus acid, very important. Whenever metal is going to react with the acid, it will give you salt and it will also give you hydrogen gas. Okay. Now see students, magnesium is a metal, and if it is going to react with the acid known as a sulfuric acid, it will give you magnesium sulfate, that is a salt. For example, magnesium plus H2SO4 will give you MgSO4. Okay, now how this magnesium will take the salt of this sulfuric acid and leaving this one will be a gas. So the reproduction will be MgSO4. Okay, this will form a salt, magnesium and salt. Okay, SO4, and plus remaining is H2. That is what? That is your hydrogen gas. Okay. Now second image also you may have seen. Aluminium reacts with hydrochloric acid to produce aluminium chloride. Okay, and hydrogen gas. Okay, so here also same thing, my dear students. If you are going to take aluminium plus HCl, okay, hydrochloric acid, it will give you AlCl3 plus H2. Now what is this? This is aluminium. And what is this? This is acid. What it will give you? It will give you aluminium chloride, because this chloride is there here. So it will take aluminium and it will give you chloride. Okay, chloride, 3 atoms of chloride. Okay, and it will give you hydrogen gas. Aluminium is written Al3 plus, so here 3 will come. Okay, and remaining H2 will be given out as a hydrogen gas. Non-metals They do not generally react with acid. They will not react with any type of acid. Now reaction with base. If the metals are reacted with the base, okay, what happens? Base means hydroxide, sodium hydroxide. So only a few metals such as zinc react with strong sodium hydroxide base to produce a salt and hydrogen gas. Okay, metals, in that metals only zinc will react with the base. That base are found in the soap. Okay, sodium hydroxide. So if you are going to take a zinc and if you are going to react with sodium hydroxide, what it will give you? Sodium zincate and hydrogen gas. Okay, here only two atoms of uh, sodium are there. Okay, two atoms here also. And zinc, zincate means what? मेरे को delete करना पड़ेगा. Reaction with bases. Only a few metals such as zinc react with a strong sodium hydroxide base to form salt and hydrogen gas. So zinc, if it is reacted with sodium hydroxide, it will give you sodium zincate, and that we are going to see live video. And non-metals, the reaction of non-metals with bases are very complex. Example, when phosphorus dissolve in caustic soda, this is a base. Phosphine PH3 gas is liberated along with the formation of sodium hypophosphite. Okay, now see, you are going to see the, now see students, here you have applied 2 in order to balance the equation. Okay, there are 2 atoms of oxygen here. Okay, so you have to put 2 here in order to balance the equation. एक मिनट, to when I also need to ZnSO4. This is zinc sulfate solution and this is dialor NaOH. Okay, it is taken in the test tube. Now we will add zinc solution slowly into the test tube using this dropper. See, reactivity of metals. So you have seen all the metals do not possess same reactivity. Underline this. The tendency of a metal to react with the other substances to form compound is known as the reactivity of a metal. More is the tendency of a metal to form a compound, more is its reactivity. Less reactive metal occur in the Earth's crust in their native state, that is, elemental state, while the high reactive metals occur in the form of compounds. The reactivity series is the list of metal arranged in the decreasing order of their reactivity. This series is generated on the basis of reactions of different metals of a particular substance. See students, here are the list of metals: lithium, potassium, they are very, very highly reactive, aluminium, carbon, zinc, and now they are decreasing in the order. Lead does not react very much. Okay, hydrogen also, copper also, mercury also does not react, silver, gold and platinum. Okay, these are non-reactive or very under-reactive metals and they are very highly reactive metals. Okay, they will start reacting with the other substances and form salt. displacement reaction. What do you mean by displacement? Placement means what? Displacement means what? To remove from the original place. That is called displacement reaction. More reactive metals have tendency to replace the less reactive metal from their salt solution. Such reaction are known as displacement reaction. Okay. More reactive metal means, of course, the metals which are very strong, they have higher reactivity, they will take the place of the less reactive metals and form their salt. Now, for example, a metal reacts with a salt solution and displaces the metal present in it. It will remove the metal and it will form the salt of that weaker. The reaction takes place only when the metal has higher reactivity than the metal, okay, which is present in the salt. That the metal should be placed higher in the reactivity series than the metal. Means, see students, lithium is a very highly reactive metal, but if it is going to react with the potassium, then what will happen? Nothing will happen. But if lithium is going to react with the gold or a platinum or maybe say hydrogen, then it will form salt. For example, here see zinc. Zinc react with the copper sulfate solution to produce zinc sulfate and copper. Zinc is a very strong reactive metal. Okay, whenever zinc is taken with the copper sulfate, okay, so what will happen? Copper, see, copper is here. It's very underreactive, and if you see, zinc is a very highly reactive. So when you are going to take zinc with copper sulfate, it will form salt. Okay, ZnSO4. This is salt. So it will take, zinc will take the salt of the copper and make its own salt, and remaining will be copper. It will displace the metal, it will remove the metal and it will form salt. Okay, second reaction also it is going to take copper. If you are going to take a copper which is very underreactive and you are going to react with ZnSO4, that is a zinc sulfate, what will happen? This copper, no reaction will be there. Why no reaction will be there? Because their copper is a underreactive substance, underreactive metal. Your strong reactive metal should be there, then only it will displace. Okay. Now, for example, if we are again taking the zinc and if we are reacting with iron sulfate, what will happen? In iron sulfate, here also zinc is at higher and iron is at lower. So what will happen? Zinc, if it is going to react with the zinc, what will give? The zinc will take the salt of the iron because it is highly reactive than iron. Okay, and iron will be displaced. A metal will be kept. A metal will be moved from its salt solution. Okay, zinc will take the sulfates of the iron. Okay, so zinc, and it will has taken the sulfates of the iron. So zinc sulfate, and what is remaining here? Fe, that is iron will be displaced here. Now if you are going to take iron and we are going to do it with the zinc sulfate, what is going to happen? Nothing is going to happen because iron is a very underreactive metal. Okay, no reaction will happen, no salt will be formed. These reactions show that zinc is more reactive than copper and iron both. Zinc is the most reactive metal. Okay, what happens then? Fe metal reacts with the copper sulfate solution. If we are going to take iron, which is less reactive than copper, so iron is more reactive than copper. Okay, although it is less reactive than zinc, but it is more reactive than copper. So what it will form? It will form salt. So this iron will take salt of copper and copper will be remaining. So copper will be written here. Okay. On the basis of this reaction, we can conclude that the order of reactivity of zinc, copper and iron is zinc is greater than iron and iron is greater than copper. It means among these three metals, zinc is the most reactive while copper is the least reactive metal. The metals which are less reactive such as gold and platinum, they do not react with any other substances, are called noble metals. They do not react with air, water, acid, base and most of other substances. Okay, that's why we can here platinum rings, that's why we can wear gold earrings, and they are rust free. No rust can be on the gold or a platinum jewelry. We can wear it for years and years. These metals are chemically unaffected by the substances around them, hence they do not undergo corrosion. Nothing happens to them and retain their lustrous surface for a longer period of time. Gold and platinum are highly malleable, means they can be drawn into sheets, they can be made into very delicate design and ductile method. They will conduct electricity, they can be made into wires. Thus, they are extensively used for making jewelry. Also, they are used in dentistry for filling the cavities and the rotten tooth. Gold is used for plating such metals such as copper and silver. Platinum is widely used in making scientific instruments, and it is effective metal for converting emission from a vehicle engine into a less harmful waste. Now, platinum is also called white gold because it is the most expensive material. Okay. Uses of some metals. Metals have been used widely by men since ancient times. In the past, metals were extensively used for cooking, farming tools, weapons, etc. However, with the development of science and technology, the horizon of the use has widened. Some of the widely used metals are iron, aluminium, copper, zinc, and silver. These names are very common to us because we have seen these types of substances made up of iron or aluminium or copper. They are there in our house, and silver jewelries are also present in our house. Iron. Now, iron, it is the most commonly used metal. It is used in making agriculture implements such as axe, sheaf, cutter machines, cooking vessels, heavy machinery, building materials, water boilers, automobiles, gates, windows, stoves, pipes, railway tracks, nuts and bolts. Okay, that you have seen. Aluminium. Around 1/5 of the total consumption of aluminium is in construction of industry. Okay. Very important line. Okay, underline. It is used for making domes, bridge and roofs. Being very light, it is used in making aircraft bodies. It is also used for making household utensils, tins and cans. The foil papers are used to pack food at your The foil papers are used to pack food at your home and are made up of aluminium. It is widely copper. It is widely put into use for making cooking vessels and electrical cables and other electrical goods. It is used in integrated circuits and for making electromagnet. Do you know what is an electromagnet? Electromagnet means, suppose if it is an iron bar, and on the iron bar if you are going to wrap copper wire and if you are going to pass electricity through it, it will act as a magnet. It will start attracting all the iron substances. Okay, so it will act as a electromagnet, means the magnet which will only work with the help when the electricity is passed through it. Okay, zinc. It is mostly put into use in the process of galvanization. Now, what is called galvanization? Galvanization is the process of coating of iron objects with a coating of zinc metal so as to prevent the iron object to undergo rusting. If you want to avoid rusting, you have to paint the substance, you have to paint the object, or you have to keep oiling the object, or what you can do is you can apply a coat of a zinc metal on it. Moreover, it is used to produce die casting, which are essential in automobile and other industry. For example, see students, this so you might have seen in your day-to-day life. This is the roof and this is the iron which is coated with the zinc. Silver. It is used in making jewelry and foils for coating the sweets. Varak. That's also called varak, that you might find on the sweets. In spite of being a good conductor of electricity, silver is not used to making electrical wires because simply it is very expensive. Uses of alloys. An alloy is a homogeneous mixture, solid in solid, of two metals or a metal and a non-metal. They means one is a metal and second one is non-metal. They are mixed together. They are made by first melting the metal and then adding the other elements, metals or non-metals, in a definite proportion. Alloys are made to improve the properties of metal. For example, iron is a metal, okay. In its purest state, it is very soft and stretches easily when it is hot. Thus, iron cannot be just used in this form. You cannot just make the iron utensils or iron pipes. Okay, iron has to be used with the other metals. It is therefore mixed with the other elements to form alloys which possess better characteristics than the pure iron. You cannot use, sometimes iron cannot be used in the purest form. It has to be mixed with the other substances such as zinc or such as silver. See students, steel. Steel is made by iron and carbon. Constituent property, hard and strong, and what it is used to make building materials, nails and screws. Stainless steel. This is called the stainless steel. Okay, this is a stainless steel. So it is made up of iron, chromium and nickel. Hard and corrosion resistant. It will not rust. Okay, nothing will happen to this ball. Making cooking utensils, cutlery and surgical implements. Solder. Now it is made of lead and tin. Low melting point and for welding electrical wires together. Brass, copper and zinc. It is made up of copper plus zinc. So one is metal, another one is also metal. Antimicrobial, strong and corrosion resistant. So it is used in making decorative statues, nuts and ball. Unity of statue is made up of brass. Okay, brass, iron, bronze, copper and tin. Hard, strong and corrosion resistant. Making coins and medals. If one of the metal in an alloy is mercury, the alloy is known as amalgam. Almost all the metals can form amalgams, iron and platinum being the exception. Iron and platinum cannot form amalgam. Okay. Silver mercury amalgam is used in the dentistry. Uses of non-metals. Now we have already seen uses of metals. Now we are going to study about uses of non-metals. Oxygen is a non-metal. It is found in gas state and essential for living beings. The main uses of oxygen are as follows. It is stored in the cylinders that are used by hospitals and mountaineers, etc. as a breathing equipment. The steel industry largely uses this non-metal for removing the undesirable compounds in steel. Okay. This oxygen is used. Nitrogen. These gases used in many ways. These gases flushed in the packets of chips and other food materials in order to prevent the rancidity of the food items, in order to improve the quality of the food item, or in order to keep it for a longer time. Nitrogen is very important in chemical industry. That's why if you see a packet of chip, it is filled with the air. What is put in the chips packet? That is the nitrogen. Why nitrogen is put? In order to keep it for a longer period of nitrogen is very important in chemical industry. Okay. Diamond. It is a form of carbon. It is the hardest substance known. It is used to make jewelry and in cutting and grinding tools. You might all have seen diamond. It is a very strong kind of material. Okay. And it is also used to make jewelry. Graphite. It is another form of carbon and used as lubricant in powdered form. It is one of the components of the lead in our pencils. It is also used in the battery. Graphite is used in the pencils to make the lead. Okay, it is mixed with the lead. Okay, you have seen the picture of a graphite lubricant. Iodine. Iodine is used in the tincture of iodine, that is called iodine solution in alcohol, and it is antiseptic. And sulfur. What is sulfur? Is used in the making of matches, dyes and gunpowder. It is used in the production of sulfuric acid. If you want to make sulfuric acid, you have to use sulfur. It is put into the process of hardening of rubber. If you want to harden the rubber, okay, then you have to use sulfur. Hope students you have understood and enjoyed this chapter. Thank you.